What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, you guys? First of all, why? Okay. Queen Sugar, I see what you're doing with this season, okay? And to be quite frank, it's understandable because I feel like they had to go back to the drawing board and scrap some things or whatever. They made it as if this was real life, like this is real time happening or whatever, because they throw in there about the pandemic. They not, there's no way to get around it. As much as I would have liked the season to be a little bit different, but baby, we got to talk about these things, and that's just what's going on right now. And let me just tell you this was a powerful episode. I feel a way about, certain things that I see like in reality shows, especially who are blatantly using certain things like with the Black Lives Matter situation as a way for them to up their game or up their popularity, and for their storylines or whatever, and it's only for their benefit. It's not to educate, it's not to further the movement, it's not to get the word out, it's not to lend support or whatever. You can tell when it's not genuine. There it is. But I'm looking at this episode right here, right now, and I didn't know how I was feel because I already saw the preview for last week's episode of Queen Sugar, and I knew that it was going to be about George Floyd for this week, and I didn't know how I was going to feel actually having them talk about this subject. I was like, is it going to be pandering? Is it going to be ingenuous? Are they just using it for a storyline? And I didn't get any of that feeling. Literally, what they put up in this episode, bitch, this was a powerful ass episode. This is episode 6, season 5, May 20. What did it say? May 27th, 2020. Listen, what they did with this episode was they in 1 hour, 1 hour, and if you want to take the commercials out, 43 minutes probably. They put in all of the emotions and the right things that the majority of us felt when that particular incident, uneventful, tragic murder happened. And I didn't, it's something that I didn't want to live through again. And I see that they're going to replay it. And it's like they showing our life in real time, but in TV time, but they're just like, playing it out as to how it would affect these characters, if you get what I'm saying. And I literally was up in here boo-hooing. Okay, girl, let me tell you something. I don't know anybody who did not feel at least like one of these characters tonight's episode when what happened to George Floyd happened. Because I know that shit hurt my heart so bad. I don't know what it is. Like, we seen just about, and I'm gonna be quite honest. There has been multiple killings and stuff of black people that affected me and got me emotional, whatever. But some reason, I don't know what it is. When George Floyd got killed and the way he got killed, and then to hear his screams and stuff like that, I'm sorry if this is being traumatizing or a trigger for some people. I should have probably put that in the beginning, but for some reason, and I think it is with a lot of people, George Floyd's death, murder, and Breonna Taylor's murder, it hit us a little bit different than everybody else's. It hit us a little bit harder because at that time, I think we were all fed up. Like, we were fed up then, but we were truly fed up at that point. You know what I'm saying? And we truly decided that, bitch, we can't do this no more. Something has to fucking happen. Okay? And that's when the whole country went haywire. Listen. So we get into the episode. I'm sorry. It made me so emotional, y'all. It made, like, whoever wrote this, Sarah, I know Sarah, girl, y'all did the damn thing on this episode. I didn't know how I feel because I don't want to see what we lived through being played back on my TV again. But baby, I was enthralled, and it touched me deep. It touched me deep because these were the feelings that I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? Charlie gets a text, or an alert, And we just see each character's reaction to getting this alert and getting the news about George Floyd. We see, the interviews. We see the news organizations talking about it. And the scenes that were the most powerful to me, I felt like were Micah's scene, because I had to remember that in a season, probably like 2 seasons ago, two, maybe 3 seasons ago, he did get pulled over and he did get a gun put in his mouth because he was a black man, a black boy at that time, in a expensive car. And obviously this black boy couldn't have this expensive car. He must have stole it or whatever. And the cop, a white older cop, took him to an alley or something and put a gun to his mouth. He peed on himself. You know what I'm saying? He was that scared that he was gonna die, and he peed on himself. And he probably was asking for his mom. You know what I'm saying? And so when Charlie gets the message, she's going through the emotions that she's going through. Micah gets the message, and he's looking at it, and he's, oh my God, the way that they played this out. Every character, baby, every actor and actress on this show did the damn thing this episode. Okay, like the emotions, I'm sitting in here just getting in my feels. Like, even talking about it now, I want to cry. I really do want to cry. Michael was all up in his feelings, okay? He was going through it, and I just felt so bad. And when he finally came out his room, and Charlie was already standing out there looking with the face that she looked. Charlie, Dawn, I hope I'm saying her name right. Baby, you a good-ass actress, okay? I don't know what this vibe is doing to you, but keep it, okay? Because, yes, it's doing it, bitch. But anyway, she was just waiting, and she just knew her son was gonna come, okay? And she knew her son needed her. And he came right out there, and and she just hugged him and embraced him and just let him like get his emotions out on her shoulder. And then it was that one particular point where they was in a room looking at it and just trying to figure out what it is that they were going to do. And she wanted him to, get his emotions out. And he was saying how he felt. He lived through this. He understands it. He don't get though why it keeps happening. And he was just going through so many emotions. And to be a mother, I don't ever want to be in that position, to be a mother, to be a father, or anybody, to have to, know that your child has experienced something like this. Something that has went on in their generation. That's how we feel now. You know what I'm saying? Our parents and grandparents went through this. Mostly our grandparents, they went through stuff like this, but we still going through it now in 2020, 2021, in this century. Like, we should be past this, but we're not. And I just love them scenes. And then, he's trying to get out of it and trying to do something different by doing, some exercise, but he's on the phone with his friend, and he basically telling them to come on down. It's about to be a protest because something got to be done. Charlie was telling him, came up in there, heard him on the phone, and was like, listen, it's supposed to be a protest or whatever, happening at the police headquarters down here. He was like, I know, I organized it. Girl, Charlie was like, bitch, what? What? Michael, what you doing? Okay, what you not finna do? You not finna go down there and be violent or whatever. She quoting all these quotes and all this stuff. You quoting this. Did he quote that? You quote Martin Luther King. He throw another Martin Luther King quote at you to counteract that. Micah said, basically, bitch, what we gonna do? Fight it with love? Okay, we can't just fight love with love. We can't fight this violence with love and shit like that. Okay, if that's the case, we would have been all out of this shit. Micah was pissed, and he was energized. He was ready to go out there and do something. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just, because here go Charlie, and this is probably what some people were saying. And I seen this, let's get our votes out there and we choose the right representatives and all this stuff. That's cute and all, okay? But that takes time. We want immediate action right fucking now. That's where Micah was coming from. And Micah said, bitch, I organized this goddamn protest, and I'm finna go out here, I'm finna do my thug thizzle, okay? Well, I shouldn't have said thug thizzle, because that, they already look at us as thugs and shit like that. But I'm finna go do my thing, okay? Show them how to do this stuff. We finna get our voice heard. And, Micah knows how to debate with his mom and get her to see, not necessarily agree with him, but understand where he's coming from. because later on we saw that she changed her. She if she didn't have her mind made up, Micah came down with his Justice for All or whatever T-shirt on, and he was like, I'm finna get ready to go. And of course I'm gonna be safe and all this stuff. Woo. She was like, I just want to know one thing. Do you got another T-shirt for me? I said, Charlie, you finna go down there and protest too? Okay, Councilwoman. Yes, this is what we do. Join into the fight, girl. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened with them. Hollywood and Vi. you know, Vi saw it, talking to Prosper about it, and just saying what she would have done if somebody would have came into her diner and gave her a false 20 or whatever. And Prosper was like, that's even if that happened. You know what I'm saying? Because they was like, yeah, they do lie. And that's what a lot of people were saying. We don't know, okay? People, they be making up shit, okay? Just to have a fucking reason to do the stuff that they do, And then we see Hollywood and his reaction when he sees the news, and him being a full-grown black man, and just the emotions and the anger in his face, and him trying to board up the place because they thinking that the protest might come and loot, because we remember that period. It was a whole bunch of looting and rioting and stuff that was happening, and he was just trying to express himself, and he even got to the point where he didn't even care about his own spot. He was more so concerned about Vi's spot. You know what I'm saying? Because that diner has been there such a long time. It made me feel so bad when he said, I'm over it. When he was talking about his own spot that he put all his time and energy in and couldn't even open up because of the pandemic. That really made me sad to hear him say that. And he was discussing it, and at one point Vi had looked in the toolbox and he was trying to tell her no, and he had a gun up in there, and apparently they had this discussion where Vi did not want the gun up in the house. She didn't want no guns in nowhere near her, and he had the gun for a while. And she was like, why do you have it? He was like, because I'm a black man and I need to protect my family. That's why I have it. Okay. And, she just wasn't trying to see it his way I think she saw it his way, but she was just still hooked on the fact that it's dangerous because guns equal violence. Okay. And that's what we don't need. We don't need that. And he was like, listen, if something happened, he was like, I'm protecting you. I'm protecting the family. It was like, but what if something happened to you? Okay. Well, I take a bullet trying to protect y'all. I said, oh, girl. I was like, you know what? Let me tell you something. The bird in me came out a little bit. I said, these black men's, oh my God, y'all are stepping up. Who is writing this shit? Okay, y'all are stepping up for y'all women and y'all family. Girl, I love to see it. It just do something to me. It just put a little tingle in my spine. I said, oh man. He said, I take a bullet for y'all. I was like, oh, take that bullet. No, don't take that bullet, but yeah, do what you gotta do, boo. He was like, I'm gonna protect mine. I said, yes, protect yours. Okay. And he was saying all that. And I was like, that is so right. He said, if I get got, at least I'm going to get got knowing that I protected somebody and knowing that I know what real love is and I was loved by folks. I was like, oh, this shit got deep, okay? And it was real cute. Vi still wasn't budging. She was like, I understand, but I still don't like it, And when he said, do you understand that what I get out of this whole thing is we hear them talking so much about who George Floyd is or how he died or whatever. We don't know nothing about that man. Ain't nobody talking about his family. We don't even know if he got kids. We don't know this and we don't know that. I said, you know what? You damn right. I said, you damn right. Girl, I said, they was hitting the nail on the head of this shit. I said that. The emotions was everywhere. All right. They had their little talk at the end and to calm things down. Meanwhile, girl, Ralph Angel. Now let me I'm gonna lead them to the end. Let me get to Nova right quick because Nova was my favorite, bitch. Let me tell you something. I never thought I'd say this again about Nova, but bitch, you did it for me tonight. You did it for me tonight, girlfriend. Okay? And at this point in time, if you don't feel like that, you don't see that this is the point where you need to let that nigga go. I mean that white man go that you with. Okay? You need to let him go. It ain't finna happen, Captain. Okay? I've been telling you this whole time. And it's not because he white. It was mostly because he was a cop. But that, now the whiteness is coming into play, bitch. And the fact that he a goddamn cop too is coming into play, bitch. Okay? And I need you to let him go. Because y'all, he don't get it. He don't get it, okay? When we first see Nova, baby, Nova is saying a little prayer to the ancestors, okay? Nova is so spiritually zen and all of that shit. She into that, and I love it when I see people that are like so spiritually in tune, with their crystals and everything. Like, it's just fascinating to me, and their sage and their teas and all that stuff. It's very fascinating to me. And listen, when she said that little prayer or whatever she was saying, and she started naming all the names of the people that we know of, okay, who have been killed either by racism slash the cops unjustly. And she just went on and on and on, and it had the background. Whoever put that background music in the background, the drums that were playing, the African drums, and the way that she was reciting it, her voice, the enunciation, the pronunciation, the inflection, the tone, everything that exuded from that moment. Oh my God, it just made the scene so much better. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Because it did something to me, y'all. I was just sitting here like, yes, like it drew me in. So I said, is this spoken word? Bitch, I'm feeling this shit. What is happening? It hit me so hard. Girl, Queen Sugar, y'all did that. Ava, y'all did that. And I didn't think I would like this episode because of this. But this got to be probably one of my favorite episodes of this season, of this season right now. Besides the wedding, okay? Girl, I said this shit was deep as fuck. But this is where Nova became my boo of the episode. Nova asked Calvin, she up in there reading her stuff or whatever. She doing her little thing. Let me yeah, I ain't even gonna do all that. She was reading a book about the photography of American lynchings and stuff like that. And, she was like, he said, you doing a little light. She was like, I was doing a little light reading. I mean, a little white reading. I was like, oops, okay. They was talking about that stuff or whatever. And they had a little conversation or whatever about it. I forget what it was, but it was concerning. That part probably wasn't that important because it didn't stick with me, except for the part that I just said. But the part that got me was Nova was just asking all of the right questions to this man. How do you feel? Okay? When you see this, does it anger you? Do you feel shame? Do you feel shame? Okay? I said, ask him those questions, girl. Baby, she was asking all these questions in front of that man and his daughter. Okay? Girl, the daughter, I forgot that Courtney was even there. And I said, is Courtney there? Where's she at? Because she needs to be asked these questions. But Courtney is a little bit more woke than him. Okay? She trying to be a little mini Nova, But I'm still, the jury's still out on her, girl. But anyway, she was asking all that shit to Calvin. And I'm sitting here like, Calvin, you better say the right thing. And he's pausing. He has to think about stuff. No, this didn't happen to me, but yeah, I understand where it's coming from. And no, this. And he talked about some. She said this scene when she said, do you feel shame? And he was like, what do you mean? When this happened, George Floyd, and you hear him crying out and you see what the officers are doing to him, did you feel shame when you found out who did this to him? Given that you a white man and given that you a cop mostly, did you feel shame? And he was like, no, I don't understand. Why would I need to feel shame? She said, because that is something that black folks had to go through, okay? And mind you, Courtney was sitting there too. Black folks had to go through this. Mind you, Courtney be sitting there like she's mentally taking notes, okay? Like she's about to write a dissertation and get an A+ on it, okay? That's what she doing. Like she taking it all in. Calvin, on the other hand, It's like this is his first time hearing or having to think about shit like this. And it makes me mad because you're a grown ass man and you grew up in the South. You should know about this shit. You should know about the history about black people with whites and black people with cops and stuff like that. You should know this stuff. That's the thing. Bitch, it was making me, this thing kind of made me mad because it just made me realize, and no shade, no tea, I appreciate everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I have a preference. I love my black people, and you can call me whatever it is that you want to call me, but I've never been like sexually or intimately attracted to white folks. Like, we could be cool, we could be friends or whatever, but me dating and all that stuff, like, I don't know if I can get that close to white people like that because I don't have the time and energy to have to teach you the sayings and the do's and don'ts of what it is that you can and cannot say and can and cannot do around in two black folks. I don't have the time to do that when you can simply Google that shit. And you, at this age that you are at, you should know that. And Nova had to ask that man, did he feel ashamed? Because when black folks, we hear something going on, we hope that it's not a black person that did it. Because then it makes us feel shame. Why it makes us feel shame? Because when something like this happens, society and whatever looks at us in a collective. When somebody do something bad, it's a collective endeavor, as she says. And I said that is so true. We always say, I hope it ain't black. I hope he ain't black. I hope he ain't black. I hope she ain't black. Damn it, she black. I'm ashamed as fuck. You know, some of us have that mentality, okay? White people don't do that, at least that we know of. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Calvin basically said. And she was like, they look at us as in a collective endeavor when anything goes on except for success. I said that was the best quote and the best line out of the whole episode because that was the realest shit ever. One person, we get judged. A whole group of people get judged. We as black people get judged off of what one person did. That was bad. One person go out and shoot somebody, so we all thugs. One person go out and rob somebody, so we're all thugs, okay? Yet, white people done the same thing. But they don't get called thugs. You know what I'm saying? As a whole, they don't, you know? Or this other particular group, they don't get called that. But we do. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, Courtney was like, so yeah, so when you do this, you know, I understand it because they just look at you as if everyone does that, right? And Nova was like, yeah. And Calvin, the way that he was responding, it didn't sit well with me. And then later on, when they had the scene where she was sitting down there and they was about to eat, and Courtney, Nova said, give me some pepper. She was like, here's the pepper, even though I really seasoned my food. I like that they threw that in there because, you know, sometimes that's a stereotype too about white people because there's some white people out here that know how to cook some good food. I be looking at it and they be putting just the right amount of seasoning, probably a little bit more than we do too. But we get it. The news was playing. Nova finna go to the march or whatever and do her little part. She said she needs to do her part. That's what she was talking about when she initially started talking to Calvin when he was talking about that book. You know, she needs to do her part in this little Black Lives Matter because she didn't want George Floyd's name to be out there and be trending for a couple of days and then disappear. And that's exactly what didn't happen because we're still talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, the news was on. And he gonna say, you wanna record that so we can watch it later? And she was like, no, I want to keep up with it real time, okay? And he just got up he got on my nerves because then Nova called his ass out. Nova called his ass out and said, what happened to the time when you just stood there and watched? Because she doing an article on people that just the people that just watching that shit happens and not stopping stuff, you know. And she called out the other officers too that could have stopped this shit, but they didn't, okay. And so at this point, you know, she was like, you know, when you said you was a cop, what was that one incident? Mind you, he never told Courtney this. So Courtney was like, Dad, what? And he was like, I was a rookie. It was a boy, a black boy. He got caught for shoplifting. Something so stupid that they could have just let him go. But I called and told my you know, partner, whatever, my commander officer. They wind up bringing a whole bunch of officers out and they start beating his ass and doing all this other stuff. And they said it was, oh my God, what was it? A tax or something, some type of thing that they called it so that, you know, you get them while they're young, black kids, you get them while they're young, beat their ass while they're young so they can know what to look forward to when they older so they can know what they're getting when they older. I said, bitch, and I'm pretty sure that's how they think today, and that ain't far from the fucking truth. I said, ain't that some shit? I said, Nova, you better grill that motherfucker right in front of his daughter so the daughter can know how much of an ass that the daddy really is. And I said, Nova, you still gonna stay with this man? You still gonna stay with this man? Bitch, I ain't got time to teach y'all why I'm upset. I'm black, bitch. That's why I'm mad, because my people keep on getting hurt. And your people is the ones that's doing it. Bitch, let me get to Ralph Angel. Okay? Ralph Angel and Darla, I said through the midst of all this, and this was what some people was doing too. Some people was trying to be oblivious to the fact of everything that was going on. And not necessarily oblivious, but trying not to entertain it and trying not to let it ruin their everyday life, okay? They was on honeymoon mode. Baby, something people is out. The city is burning down, bitch. The city is burning down, okay? All over the goddamn country, cities are burning down. Ralph and goddamn Darla, they don't know shit about this because they ain't got the TV on. They ain't looking at the news or nothing like that. They completely checked out. You wanna know why? Because they are on their honeymoon, as they should have been. Okay, it came at the wrong time, but baby, they said, bitch, Darla said, listen, you gonna get this striptease. He said, I'm gonna watch that shit too. I was like, Darla, you could have did a little bit better. You could have did a little bit better, okay? They kind of seduced little Darla, but Ralph was all into it. I was like, all right, I mean, Ralph, if that's what knocks your boat, because it didn't knock mine, you know what I'm saying? That's why she just a sister wife, okay? I don't want to fuck, you know? I was just like, that was cute or whatever, but it didn't turn me on. But, I mean, nice try, Darla. And next thing you know, they go to swimming. They just living life like ain't nothing happening. I said, y'all don't know that a black man just got killed. Y'all up here sexing and everything. And girl, it took for Hollywood to call and to tell him to look at the TV, and he was like, it's everywhere, so just turn to any channel. He turned the TV on, and he's seeing it, Ralph seeing it, and Ralph just starts crying as a black man. Oh, y'all know how I feel when my baby start crying. I cried with him. I was like, oh, let me wipe your tears. Don't cry, boo, you know? And so Darla was feeling the type of way because she wanted to see how Blue was, you know. She just would have felt better if she was there with Blue. So, of course, you know, Ralph was trying to use that whole, you know, I don't want to go back to reality type of thing. You know, let us just live this out because it's always something going on at home. Let us, and it's always going to be something, but let us just have these couple of days, okay? But, you know, she being a mother and being a mother to a black son, you know, she just wants to go see how her son is doing. So they on the way home, they stop at a gas station. Darla comes out the gas station. Ralph is right there pumping the gas. She talking to Ralph about what they didn't have up in there and what she went and got. It's a white man in his truck right next to them pumping, and he looked at Darla's shirt and called it out and said, Black Moms Matter. What if I would have had something that said White Moms Matters or All Lives Matters or whatever? You know what I'm saying? What if I would have had something that said White People Matter or White Power and all this stuff? Girl, Ralph handled that shit well. I thought he was about to fight that white man, okay? Because at one point he told Darla, no, because Darla was like, don't pay no attention to him, Ralph. He was like, no, he just being ignorant, but no, I got this. Baby, when he told Darla, no, I got this, okay? You better fucking go ahead and pump your gas before you find out what really happens, because you over there being ignorant, bitch, okay? That's what he really wanted to say. That's what he really wanted to say. He really wanted to take that goddamn gas nozzle and stuck it up his ass, okay? That's what he really wanted to do. But my baby kept calm, cool, and his composure, bitch. I was so proud. I was so proud. I said, yes, don't be the angry black man. You kill him how I kill him, okay? I said, ooh, you know, they let that incident ride. They get home and they talk to Blue. Baby, it is a shame that black parents have to go through this time where we have to tell our children, give our black kids these talks. And these are the talks that people have to get their kids these days. What you to do and what you can do, what you can't do, what you should say, how you should react when the cops come, and you shouldn't run, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And when Ralph told Blue, he was like, how come things can't change like Auntie Nova says? And it was like, things can, but all you got to do is stay alive, and, you know, you got to stay alive for me and do this and do that and become the grown man that you are and the best person that you are and all this stuff. And he was like, am I gonna stay alive? How can I stay alive? That's what he said. He said, how can I stay alive? And his voice even broke too. Girl, I said no. And that's when Darla lost it, bitch. And I was sitting here like, turn this shit off. Turn this shit off. Okay, let me just tell you this. This was a good ass episode because you see how long the video is, bitch. It's 30 minutes, okay? Queen Sugar people, y'all did the damn thing on this episode. Y'all really did. And I really didn't think I would like it because of the heavy subject matter. But baby, y'all really did that. Okay? But y'all tell me how y'all felt about this episode, and I will see you guys later. Peace.